the recording software is working. Can you like say something?
I'm giving up on you. That's my
Yeah.
reflex.
Hello, welcome to Credits Creators, which was formerly the Alpixian Morning Podcast, streaming on Castbox, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and YouTube. I'm Jack Evans, and I'm kicking off episode 1 with streamer and gamer Carrie Knight. How are you today?
I'm alright. How are you, Jack?
I'm good. So I've just got a bunch of long questions about your channel, if you're okay with answering those ones.
Of course.
When did you decide to make your YouTube channel, like the time frame, and when did you decide to make, if there was a change from old style content to what you make now?
Well, I've been doing YouTube for about almost about 7 years.
Jeez.
So almost 8 actually.
Wow.
But,
OG.
The depressing thing is that I'm like 16, so I started when I was 9, which is a very cringy thing to say.
So I'm guessing that's why you don't have a high account then? Because you just started
Yeah, I've had about three different channels, but this is the one I want to start. And I was just inspired by a lot of different creators, gamers mainly, and then a couple of skit people, and I'm trying to start doing more of that myself.
Oh, alright. Personally, I've had 2 channels. One of them was a gaming one, Pixel Wolf Gaming. I still leave all my stuff up there. And then I decided I didn't want to do gaming anymore. I wanted to do vlogs. I want to make these cool cinematic type things. So that's what I decided to do.
Very Luke Hornsby.
So I just changed, and there was no way I could just morph the old channel, so I just kind of cut out everything from the old channel. But my new channel's a lot better because old me was 12.
How old are you now?
I am 15. So, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually been a while. I didn't think I'd stick with anything this long, because I never have, but...
That's how I felt when I finished my main story Skyrim Let's Play. I'm gonna do the entire game, but my editing software just kind of crashed on me, so I need to re-download that. But
was there any, like, event or, like, specific thing that happened that made you think that, oh, I want to do this kind of content rather than this kind of content, or I want to, or just what made you stop?
Well, there is. It's kind of lame, but I still kind of am, but I've been a big Smosh fan since 2010, and when they launched Smosh Games, it was a big deal to me. I watched like every episode of every series for the first 5 years until Anthony left. And then it was just amazing. And they had this thing called Game Bang, where they all got together and played a game and made it a competition, and the loser would have to do something stupid.
Oh yeah,
I knew from that moment I really, really wanted to get into. Do what?
I used to watch a lot of Smosh. I remember originally I used to watch a lot of Dan TDM because I was 12, and I think all 12-year-olds watch Dan TDM. And there was a lot of other like YouTubers like that inspired me to do the original gaming thing. But then to move over to vlogging, I think I started watching a lot of Casey Neistat, Sarah Dietschy, and like a lot of vloggers. And I was like, whoa, there's a lot more to YouTube than this, and this is a lot cooler. So I decided to give that a try, which is where I opened Alpixian, which it used to be just skits. I think I started off doing skits on that. Yeah, I did. And then it kind of transpired into a bit of streaming, and then the vlogs that I have today. And I'm very happy with doing the vlogs. Considering I've got like a lot scheduled. And I've invested in a nice tripod, a Joby pod, and a camera and everything.
I feel that you should check out a vlogger by the name of Luke Corns. He's a cinematic vlogger, and I think you may enjoy him. I was watching some of your videos, and the way you did, like, with the music in the background and the shots of the car, train, whatever you were riding. That was pretty cool, and it reminded me a lot of him.
I just try and film stuff and film my day, but make it not boring. And
of course.
Found ways to make longer videos without it being boring now, which is like the phone vlog that I'm trying to upload, the one with the what's on my phone. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's... Vloggers have it both the easiest and hardest out throughout the entire YouTube sphere, because vloggers pick up subscribers the fastest out of every medium of YouTube.
Yeah.
Although they also struggle because it is hard to show your life and keep it not boring.
Well, if you see the upload dates between my recent and the one before that, there's a month. There's a full month of no uploads because nothing was happening. I did end up going on another trip, But that trip was almost identical. It was just my dad coming down and taking us to this cool rental place thing that we go to. But because like a couple vlogs ago, I just ended a trip exactly like that. The exact same thing with him. There wasn't any content there.
It's also why a lot of vlogging YouTubers try to do other things than just daily vlogs, because vlogging is a very large medium. It has a lot of different aspects to it. Like you could tell stories of your past. You could animate it. You could do a draw my life. I mean, it doesn't just have to be what's happening right now. It could just be things that happened ever. And that's how they really flourish, because they can do so much more than we can.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do a lot of story time stuff, and I reckon I could put together a vlog with commentary over it on like a trip I went on a couple years ago. I reminded myself to pick up my camera off the ground charging, like my old Lumix camera, which if you went to my older vlogs you would see I use a newer Lumix camera now, but I reminded myself to pick it up. So I got up. Apparently we all slept in a bit or something, I don't really remember, but we had to leave immediately. And I forgot to pick up the camera, despite the fact I could have just unplugged it. So I ended up having to record on this Samsung Y from 2011, which was never meant to be a flagship. It recorded 240p at 15 FPS. So I would upload whenever there was free Wi-Fi, like whenever my mom was getting Starbucks or something, I would record like a quick thing, name it something like city or wherever I'm at, and then just upload it. Because it also had no space.
Oh, where in the US were you?
We went around New York, LA. We just went around a lot of places. Like, New York was like my favorite. It's currently my favorite place. There's so much stuff happening there.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to New York.
It's really good. Yeah. What specifications? So what's like internals does your computer use?
All right, give me a second. I need to remember how to pull that up. My PC is a gaming PC, so I kind of lucked out with that one. We got a manufacturer of MSI. The processor is an Intel Core i7 6700 CPU with a 3.40 gigahertz on a 3.41 gigahertz. I have 8 gigs of RAM, which isn't as good as it should be, but I handle it pretty well, which is even weirder. I'm a 64-bit. What else do I got going?
This is everyone who wants to use a computer for anything other than word processing.
I have the second most recent graphics card. I do not see it listed, but I do know that I can run most games that come out at the moment, at least right below Ultra.
I can't really run anything. I think the most recent I can run is like anything from The Sims and certain like indie games and that.
Heartbreaking.
It is. Whenever I get Fortnite, I wanted to try that, and then it was just like infinitely loading, even though it was all downloaded and everything, because it just wouldn't run. So I have the installer on my phone, and I'm trying to trick my phone into thinking it's a Nokia 8 because I have a Nokia 3, so it should be pretty easy to do that. It's not easy to do that, but I'm trying. Yeah, you mentioned before you wanted to do like skits and that. So have you wanted to? How long have you been wanting to like branch out and do like content like that? And is there any other content you'd branch out and do?
For about since I started, to be honest, because I know that once again, gaming is a very plentiful media, but it's also it's a very
congested, maybe
tight,
a word.
Yeah, it's very tight and small in the sense that there's little to no variety. It's just, oh, here's me. I'm playing a game. I'm reviewing it. There we go. Great time. But there's also it's just, I don't want to change my name. I want to do a little bit of everything. I want to do like vlogs, like on my channel you can see a couple I have. Only when I'm going to do cool stuff. Like I went to Warped Tour a couple of weeks back.
Oh, nice.
I got 192 views. Oh, only 2 weeks ago, man. And then that was fun, but I vlogged it because I knew it would be fun. I've also made a special effects test, and it was a skit that was completely unscripted and really bad, but it was supposed to be bad, so that made it funny.
Oh, all right.
And I like that. So that was like, okay, that's my introduction to skits. And then every once in a while, I'll just get on my phone and I'll make a very, very short video of me just talking to the camera and doing something really stupid. And that's fun.
Yeah.
I don't want to change my name, though. I am listed as Carry Night Gaming, and that's mainly because it has such a good ring to it. Because if I'm just Carry Night, I feel like it wouldn't sound the same. Unless I actually, made something of myself, and Carry Night was a good way to see.
People think I'm good at making names, but usually what happens is I'm either in the shower or lying in bed, and I think of jumbled up synonyms and stuff that sound cool together. Like my old YouTube on this account used to be Alpixian. My old account is Pixel Wolf Gaming. It would just come up with words and synonyms and phrases that sound good together. And then someone told me that, hey, Alpixian's bad because it doesn't mean anything and, like, no one knows how to spell it. And I'm like, that's true? So now I'm just Jack Evans, which is my real name. So, yeah.
Yeah. They really do be like that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. But hey, at least I don't get people asking me, like, every other day, like, my friends would ask me, can you make me a username? How do you make good usernames? And I'm like, I can't do that because I can only do it for myself because I'm just bored.
Yeah, my username actually has like a backstory. That's the only reason I kind of go by it now. Because all of the names that I've gone by had a meaning. I've only gone by 2 names actually, but they both had meaning. But this one was kind of had to happen, I guess. My original one was Dova Clean Productions, and that's atrocious. You see, Skyrim is my favorite video game of all time. So Dova, and then back then I didn't swear. I was very innocent because I was like, what, 10? And so it was clean, and then I liked making stuff, so productions. Parker's so clever. But now, I make this comic book thing with my 2 brothers, Jordan and Jay, and they show up on here every once in a while. And we all have our little Avengers / Justice League, and it's led by these 3 guys. You got the Bolt, Dawn Strider, and Red Archer. And Dawn Strider's alien name, like on his home planet, is Kari. When you turn 9 on that planet, you get to add Knight to your name because you're ready to fight the fight. Because they're a war planet. I know it's really lame. So Kari, and then Knight, so Karen and Knight.
Oh yeah. So I was saying it right for the most part.
You were, yeah.
I had no idea if I was, because the thing with my old the thing with this podcast is actually kind of a reboot of an old one that I did. I kind of stopped because I didn't really like the name. Yeah, if you scroll like a couple pages down, you see the Alpixian Morning Podcast, which translates to temp because the name was always going to be temporary. So I kind of found a way to do that, which is probably one of the cleverest things I've done in my life, to be honest. But I didn't really like that name, and I kind of took a break to make a new name. And 4 months later, I'm here with Credit to Creators, which abbreviated, it's not CTC abbreviated, it's C2C, as in like the number 2, because it looks cool. So, yeah.
That's pretty edgy right there, man.
Yeah, I said I was gonna upload this a week later, but I've been reading on how I can actually get it to Google Podcasts and other things, and it needs to be accepted, so it needs to take a few days. So hopefully, I'm probably going to have to stay up late tonight again, but I'm going to try and get this up on things tonight, so that's good.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
This isn't the first podcast I've done, but it definitely is the first podcast with someone I don't know.
All right.
And it's really cool because I feel like I'm being interviewed, like, you know, it's like I'm popular or something.
Yeah, I've never been a guest on a podcast, but I've always been, like, interviewing people. Like, I've been interviewing people a lot. But like I never really upload much of it because it's bad. So I've got
my
2
friend,
other episodes.
Yeah, I saw them with Toast and the other dude.
Funny story with that Toaster's account. I have this one online friend who changes his name like every 20 seconds, and he's like picturing everything. And he did the same thing. I went in and started messaging him stuff like about. I started messaging on stuff that, like, you know, my online friend would know, like, about, and then he's like, what, I'm 18, I don't understand this. I'm like, what? My friend's 16 or 15, and then I scroll up and I see the podcast, I'm like, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, we had one of those, and none of us are really close with him anymore, but this one guy, he would change his name constantly, and we just felt like he wasn't going to get anywhere because he kept changing his name, changing his brand, getting new channels.
He changes his Discord name. He doesn't change his other name. He's actually uses the Epic Gamer 331. Yeah, he's a friend of mine.
Numbers and names, gross.
Yeah. I've never had a number in my name, and I can say that wholeheartedly. Unless it's like a Reddit name or something.
I can't say I've never had a number in my name. I did it once, and I was 9, so I think I get a pass.
XX_420 blaze it
2475. Oh god. I think numbers should stay away from names unless used very cleverly, like in Graveyard Girl. If it's just like, Harry Styles fan 337.
That's stupid.
Or Lonely Boy 69 911 or something like that. Believe me, I've seen something so much worse than that.
Now I've got some like short answer, quick fire questions that I'm going to ask you.
Ooh.
So yeah,
Shoot me with
Android
that
or
jet.
Apple?
You threw an apple at me?
No, Android or Apple phone manufacturers.
Oh, ooh, okay. So I have an iPhone. I understand that Apple is
Mm-hmm. But what?
Android is annoying.
It is annoying.
iPhones baby us. Like, it's almost like a phone was made for a child. That's why children love them.
No,
So I also
it's
like them,
digital
but
flexing,
I'd much
actually.
rather have an iPhone over an Android because iPhones are pretty.
Yeah. I have an Android phone because I needed a phone. I didn't have much money, so I brought this phone, which has been pretty good, apart from the fact that it crashes occasionally, and that's like an Android thing. I would have gotten like a iPhone, but with my, like originally I would have gotten an iPhone, but with my computer, plugging iPhones in doesn't seem to work. I've tried iPads. None of them really work well, and if I get it working, it transfers the files at like 2 megabytes a second compared to 30 on my Android. And like, I would be using the 4K 60 setting on the iPhone, and just imagine how long it would take to transfer over like a 5-minute thing from my phone.
I just think that each has its own goodwill.
Yeah.
You see, Android has amazing thoughts, I guess is a good way of saying it. The people backing Android are good. Like, you got just like how people backing Google are good, backing Microsoft are good, but when they try to do some things, it's not. Like, Apple can't make computers for shit. While a Windows is good for computers, and so are other Android products. Anything that's not Apple is a good computer, to be honest. But it's almost like how Microsoft can't make Xbox. It just depends on the situation.
Or a phone, despite the fact that for the longest time I've actually had a Windows phone and it was alright, I guess.
For the longest time. Yeah.
But yeah, with that computer thing, I'm gonna probably get a MacBook Air because when I was traveling with this computer before the screen on it broke, I found that if it was unplugged, it would slow all the way down, it would crash a lot more, and and when I was using like a MacBook in stores, I probably wouldn't get their expensive one. I'd probably get the cheapest one I could find just to edit videos on the go. And because, a Mac, you kind of just open it, once again, they debut as well, but it can video edit as well, and that's all I need for a portable laptop. So just open it, start doing things, done.
Although, Apple computers will be great for vlogging and for editing vlogs.
Because they're light as well. My big computer, though, not only is it heavy and takes up like 70% of my carry-on requirements, which eliminates it for long-term vlogging over economy airlines, because I would bring more gear, but I can't with that laptop.
Damn.
Yeah, but with like a MacBook Air or something, I don't want the original one because I don't want to carry around dongles, so... And plus, I don't want to spend that much on something that's going to be used for one purpose when I'm traveling. Because I do understand that Apple computers are for anything other than video editing.
That's real.
So that also answered Mac or Windows. So what do you prefer, Snapchat or Instagram? They're pretty much the same these days, so that's why I only have those two.
That is... Okay, so... But I like Snapchat. I really do. I spend a lot of my time on there. It's how I talk to my girlfriend.
I would spend more time on Snapchat, but it wastes so much battery power because my phone sucks. But I like Instagram, and I've started doing the IGTV vlogging stuff.
I wish I liked Instagram more, but I think I just have a personal vendetta against it right now. Because whenever my girlfriend's over or something, and then I leave her alone for 5 seconds, she just goes on Instagram and starts scrolling through shit. It just doesn't even talk to me because she's too busy looking at everybody else's posts.
My girlfriend does that with YouTube. My girlfriend does that with YouTube, and she just puts on her earphones. I remember last time I was there, I just kind of put my earphones and started listening to music. I'm like, okay then, I'll just wait till I go home then. And that's pretty much what happened that entire time. No one knows the story. And
the worst part is I'll be like laying, like we'll just be laying in my bed or whatever, and then like I'll go over to the other side just to stretch for a quick second, and then I'll notice her phone is out. Sometimes my eyes will be closed, and then she just stops talking. And I'm like, oh god, are you on Instagram? I just
what I do when I'm with people, and it's not like a family event because family events are boring to me. I don't go on social media unless I'm uploading a photo I've taken. Yeah, or if I'm replying to a family member. I just don't pull out my phone that much.
I have this thing I do whenever I'm with friends. If I'm ever with a group of friends, of course, I will go on Snapchat and I'll hold the camera facing myself, and I will go dun roll call Parker check because I'm Parker, and then I move it over to whoever's next to me, say their name, make sure they say check. After I tell them to say check, and then I do the entire room.
Sounds like fun, actually.
It can be, but sometimes it doesn't work out because I have people that hate it. Do what?
Send me your snap code over Discord when we're done here, so I could throw it up on the
awesome.
thing for the
Let's
YouTube.
see.
Do you have any other channels that you upload to?
Actually, funny that you asked. So I have this one channel that I haven't done anything with in years. Oh, in like a year, and I'm trying to figure out if what I'm gonna do with it because I have the rights to it now.
Yeah.
I did this collab channel with those brothers I was talking about. And we haven't done anything with it, but it's mainly because we haven't had a chance to play anything in a long time.
Yeah.
But we definitely will. We definitely will. And that's the plan for that. Figure out what to do with that later. But I was just introduced to the Lions Honor Gaming because I'm a part of this podcast called the Lions Honor Nerdcast. It's whatever the hell we do it. 3 of our main guys, one of them being my brother, they have bigger channels than I do. They already have like 300 subscribers, but they don't want to do Let's Plays on their channel anymore. They don't think that's where it fits. So they decided to make a channel just for themselves to put videos on. And they said they were going to introduce me to it very soon. And I'm going to say by tomorrow, the date being August the 19th, there is a very good chance of me having a video on there ready to record and all that stuff. And it will be of Don't Starve Together with Zachary Snyder.
Like one of your friends or something?
Yeah. I mean, I'm already, like, they're like the main trio right now, but they're throwing because I'm supposed to be a part of it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's just like, it's kind of like our own Game Grumps, if that makes sense.
Alright, so do you happen to have any tips for, like, screen recording or whatever you do best that you can give tips on to make just it easier for people who want to do what you're doing?
Step 1. Don't ask for tips, lose. I'm just kidding. No, step 1. What you need is OBS. OBS is a beautiful software. It has its flaws, but what doesn't.
To record the podcast because I don't know how to do it any better.
OBS is very helpful because it lets you stream, it lets you record, lets you do anything of that sort. It has really good quality, and I respect every inch of it. Although, be careful with it because it can be a bitch to fiddle with sometimes. But if you really get to it, you'll have it down fast. See what else you need. The reason I say that is because unlike most screen recorders, you can actually pick what outputs has. So I mean, like all my videos come out as MP4s. So if I didn't feel like editing that day, if I get a
blue screen, I can actually still get to the file.
Yeah, anything like that. I actually if I didn't want to edit one day, I could just upload the video after record it because MP4s do really well on YouTube, and they upload really fast.
That's why I export my final thing as like the thing I use is a 12 megabyte a second, like for the bitrate, and I use 1080p on an MP4 file, and it uploads a lot faster than if I was to use what I used to use, which was a AVI file uploaded on Sony Vegas.
Ooh.
I stopped using Sony Vegas because it got expensive.
Fun fact, that's what I used to edit.
It got expensive for me, so I switched to Adobe.
Ooh, yeah, Adobe.
Because
I want to use Adobe, but it's kind of aggravating because there's so many attachments to it, and that makes it too expensive for me. Like, if I really want to edit well, I need Adobe After Effects and I need Adobe Premiere Pro, and I just don't have that kind of cash. I mean, I'm still in school.
My school gave me a license to use. I don't know how long it lasts, but a license to use the entire Creative Suite. Because that way, if it does go away, hopefully I'll be able to make something to at least get the single program one. Because all I really use is Photoshop and Premiere. I don't need After Effects because I've got a lot of LUTs that I've paid for, which are like the
I think it'll do you well.
Things. Yeah. So, this is probably the end of the podcast. So, thank you, Carrier Night Gaming, for taking time for this interview. It should be uploaded today, later, or next week, depending on how easy it is to edit. If my computer doesn't want to be a pain in the ass. It'll be available originally on YouTube, And in a couple of days, it should be available on the Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and Castbox, and probably some other ones. So subscribe to the podcast if you see it on there, and YouTube it'll be up on. So yeah, thank you.